Now see here, we will shall start with this laws of motion today. And what we will be doing today, that uh, I'll be giving you some questions, okay? And then in that question, I'll give you some time. So try to solve that question. And after you have solved the question, you just reply me in the chat, okay? And then I'll start solving that question. Understood? So the first question for the day is this, okay? This says, what is the force at the point C? Okay, what is the force at point C? This is my point C here. What is the force at point C from the given figure? If mass of the body is 1 kilogram, and this is a momentum versus displacement graph drawn to me, given to me. Okay, this is a momentum and displacement graph given to me. You have to determine the force when the particle is at point C. So take down this figure and write down the solve for this question now. You have 1 minute for this. After 1 minute, I'll start solving this question. Okay. So anyone who has solved this question? Yes. Okay, I will start solving this question now. Now, if you see this figure, okay. So in this figure, actually, I'm having this momentum and displacement graph. Now, for this momentum and displacement graph, if you see here, okay. So for this momentum and displacement graph, if I calculate the slope, okay, if I calculate the slope at point C, so what will I get? Will I get here dp by ds, dp by ds, and that is going to be the slope of this. Okay, now mass is given to me, the mass of the body is 1 kilogram. If I calculate the acceleration of the body at point C, if I calculate the acceleration of the body at point C, I'll be able to calculate the force at C. Mass is given to me. Now I have to focus for this acceleration. Now, if you see here, so I can write slope is equals to dp by ds. This is I'm writing from graph. Okay, this thing I have written from graph. Now, what is p? P is momentum here. So can I write this momentum as mv by ds? Okay. Now I'm taking this m outside. Okay, I'm taking this m outside because m is a constant, and then I can write it as dv by ds. Now the value of m, okay, if you see, mass of m is given as 1 kilogram. Mass is given as 1 kilogram. So in this case, the slope becomes, okay, the slope, what does the slope becomes? dv by ds. Now you have to find out this value of dv by dx at point C. Okay, at point C, what is the value now for dv by ds? So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw the tangent I'm going to draw the tangent at point C. So if I draw the tangent here, okay, if I draw a tangent at point C, so just see how I'll be drawing it. Okay, yeah, like this. Now if you see this, okay, this is a tangent. So what will be this angle? This will be 90, okay, and if this is 90, this is 37, what will be this angle? What will be this angle? Will this angle be 53? Will this angle be 53? Yes. So with the positive x-axis, okay, with the positive x-axis, with the positive x-axis, okay, with the positive x-axis, I'm having, with the positive x-axis, I'm having 53-degree angle. Okay. So now the slope, okay, the value of slope at point C, what is now? It is now, it is tan theta is equals to, and what is theta here? Theta is actually 53 degrees. So we can directly substitute this value 53 over here. I can substitute this value 53 here. So tan 53 is the value for dV by ds. Anybody who has not understood, let me know in the chat. Yes. Anybody who didn't understand this, let me know in the chat. Hello. Okay. 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 Anybody who didn't understand, please let me know in the chat. Yes, everybody understood? If you understood, let me know. I start from here. Okay, I assume you have understood. Okay, I'll start from here. So now what is tan 53? If you see here, so what is this? What will be tan 53 here now? Yes, what will be tan 53? This is 5, okay? This length is 5. So can I say if this is 5, okay, and this is theta, so remaining two sides will be 3 and 4. So tan 53, what will be tan 53 now? Yes, will it be 4 by 3? Will it be 4 by 3? dV by ds. Now, if this is if this dV by ds is tan 4 by 3, okay. Now, what I have to calculate now? Acceleration. So what acceleration value you can write here now? Acceleration, what we can write? Can we write V dV by ds? Now, dV by ds I have found out. Now, next thing is that I have to calculate this velocity from here now. Okay, velocity. So for velocity, what you have to do, just see here. Velocity, for velocity, what we are going to do? At C point, okay, if you just see the C point here, so this is momentum. This height is momentum. And what is this? This is displacement. Okay. Now, if I draw a triangle like this, the triangle that I'm drawing in red, can you find out this height h? Huh? Because this is a radius, and this is also 5. So what will be sine 37 now? What will be sine 37 degree? Sine 37 degree. What you will have? Yes, will it be h by 5? Yes. Will it be h by 5? Okay. So if it is h by 5, what is sine 37? Sine 37 is 3 by 5 into 5 is equals to h. Now you got this height, okay, this h. So h value is now 3. Understood? This is height. So now if actually this is the velocity value, okay, because mass is constant, okay. This is what? M into V. V is 1 and this is velocity value. Now I can directly substitute this value here. So acceleration will be what? 3 into 4 by 3 is equals to 4. Okay. Now for net force, mass into acceleration, mass is 1, acceleration is 4, the answer is 4 Newton. So if anybody who didn't understand this problem, just let me know. I'll explain it again. Or the point where you didn't understand, that also you can tell. Yes. If you understood, let me know. If you didn't understand this, let me know that also. Okay. So I'm moving on. So if you want to copy it, or you can take the screenshot, whatever you want. I'm going to give you this second numerical. Okay. Now this is the second numerical you have. You have to find T1 and T2. Okay. From the figure, you have to find out T1 and T2. Find T1 and T2 from the given figure. Solve it. The value of T1 and T2. This is a very easy question. I need all of you to answer this. I'll not give you more than 30 seconds for this question. This is a very easy question. Yes, anyone who got the answer? Anyone who got the answer? Okay. See here, I'm solving this question. Now see this question here. All of you leave. Now see on the screen. Now see here. Here we are having three bodies, all which are 2 kg, 3 kg, and 5 kg. This 5 kg is being given 200 Newton. This 2 kg is given as 100 Newton. Now, what for these questions now, what you have to do, you have to assume all these bodies as one, and tension, this tension T1 and T2 are internal forces. Okay, this T1 and T2 are internal forces. So in that case, what I can do, I can assume that I am having a body which is of 10 kg, okay, that is having a net force of 200 minus 100 Newton, okay, which is having a net force of 100 Newton on it. Now, if I have a force of 100 Newton, okay, and a body of 10 kilogram and acceleration A. So this is how I write this Newton's second law. So from here, I can say that the acceleration is 10 meters per second square. Now, if the acceleration I have got, so what I can say that this complete system moves in this direction, okay? This complete system moves in this direction with 10 meters per second square. Did you understand this much? Yes? Now, if the system is moving with 10 meters per second square in this forward direction. So now for the tension, what I can do, okay, for T1. So for T1, we can draw the FBD for 5 kg block. So you draw the FBD for 5 kg block. For 5 kg block. Now, what you will get? You have a 200 Newton force here in this direction. Okay. You have a tension here, T1 value here. Okay. So if you write this equation, so what you will be writing? 200 minus T1 is equals to MA. Now, you tell me what is the value of M here you will substitute. You will substitute 5 or 10? Yes. Will you substitute 5 here or 10? 5. Okay. Only few people are answering. Why is it like that? Or shall I call the name? Yes. See here, in this place of mass, we will put 5 kg. Okay. 5 into A, and acceleration is 10. That is, we have already calculated. Now from here, I can calculate tension value as 200 minus 50 is equals to 150 Newton. Okay. So T1 I have got as 150 Newton. Now just check the answers now. Just check the answers now and tell which option should be correct. Yeah, A is the correct answer. A is the correct answer for that, for this. So you need me to solve for T2 also, or you will solve for T2? Yes. Will you solve for T2 or shall I solve it? See here. For T2, what you have to do? Take this 2 kilogram block. Okay. For T2, take 2 kilogram block. For 2 kg block, what you have to do now? In this direction, you are having only one force, that is T2. And one force here you will be having 100 Newton. Okay. So you will write T2 minus 100 is equals to 2 into 10. Then T2 will be 120 Newton. So option A, 150 and 120 is the answer. Okay. So if you have understood this, so using the same concept, okay, using the same concept, you have to solve this question. Using the same concept, you have to solve this question. Yes. Solve this question fast. See here. You people are taking a lot of time. See here. All of you, see on the screen, all those who have not solved. See here. This 5 kg block, okay, will have a net force of 50 downward. This will have 30 downward. Okay. Now, if you see this system, so the net force on this system, I can say is 20. Okay. 20 Newton. And total mass on in the system is 10 and acceleration A. Now, from here, I can say that the acceleration value is 2 meters per second square. Okay. Now, for T1 value, okay, for T1 value, if you take this here, okay, so what you can write, this body will move down with acceleration A. So that means for this, I can write 50 minus T1 is equals to 5 into 2. Okay. So T1 will be written as 40 Newton. T1 is 40 Newton, and only I see option C, which is having T1 as 40. So option C is correct. Yes? All of you got this? Hello? Why you people are not replying? Okay. Now, okay. You just solve this question. For this system to be in equilibrium, what will be the value of theta? Okay. For this system to be in equilibrium, what will be the value of theta? Yes, do it fast. You have to just, for equilibrium, there are two conditions, that the body should be under static equilibrium and it should be in dynamic equilibrium. Dynamic equilibrium means it should be, the net force must be also zero and net moment should be also zero. Static equilibrium means net force must be zero. So here just check for static equilibrium, no need for checking the moment and all. So just check total force in x direction and total force in y direction. Balance that and you will get the value of theta here. Okay, see, I'm solving this question now. Now, for this question, if you see, so I will have one force mg downward. Okay, I will have one force mg downward. Now, because this string, okay, and this string, they both are having same angle with horizontal, so the tension will be same. Now, if the tension is same, so their horizontal component, okay, their horizontal components will cancel each other. This cancels this. So no need of writing that. But there will be a vertical component. And that vertical component will be, suppose this is T1, okay, this is T1. So this will be 2T1 sine 45, right? This one will be 2T1 sine of 45. Now, here also you are having one tension like this, right? Draw the tension like that. So here also one tension you will be having, and one component of this tension will be downward. Now just check here. If this angle is 45, what will be this angle? Yes, this angle I want, all of you. What will be this angle, this green color? What will be the angle that is marked as green? Yeah, 45, correct. So if this is 45, then what will be this force? Will it be T1 cos of 45, and this will become T1 sine of 45, right? Now in this is the second string. This is second string, okay, which is having tension T2 now. This is a second string which is having a tension T2 now. So now in x direction, this is going to have T2 cos of theta, and in vertical direction, okay, in vertical direction, it is going to have T2 sine theta. Okay, so now I'm marking this point as O, this point as P. Okay, so now for this figure, just check horizontal forces and vertical forces, and then you can solve for this theta. Shall I leave this question here, or shall I simplify, write down the equations also? Yes. Shall I leave the question or you will solve it? Okay. I'm going on to the next question. We just, for point O and point P, write down the two equations along x-axis and along y-axis. You will get the solution for this. Okay. Now see this question. This question. Okay. Just read this question and try to solve it. Read this question and try to solve it. Read this question and try to solve it. The question says, assuming the gravity to be in z direction, negative z direction, a force F vector is equals to V cross A vector is exerted on a particle in addition to the force of gravity. That means there are two forces. One is gravity force and one is the force that is given in the question. Okay. Now, it is saying that V is a velocity vector and A is any constant vector in position x direction. That means this vector A is in x direction. For vector V, we don't have any direction given to us. Now, with the minimum speed, with what minimum speed a particle of mass m be projected so that it continues to move undeflected with constant velocity. So you have to focus on this term, constant velocity. If we have a constant velocity, so the particle must have net force 0. Okay. So what is the correct option for this? What is the correct option for this? Okay. See here. Now it is saying that A vector is along x-axis. Okay, we have a vector that is along x-axis. Gravity is along negative z direction. So if I'm assuming that this is z, okay, this is positive z, so this will be the negative z direction. So G is acting like this, and this is y axis. So a particle is falling like this. Okay, it is this gravity is like this. Now if the particle is moving with the constant velocity, okay, if the particle moves with the constant velocity, so the net force must be 0. So F net must be 0. Okay, so if F net is 0, so what I can say from here, that mg, I'm only writing the magnitude. Okay, direction later on we'll see. Mg must be equal to VA sine theta. Do you understand this? Yes. Everybody understands this, what I have written here? Okay. Now, what is the value of V from here now? What is the value of V here? Mg divided by A sine theta. Now, it is asking what should be the minimum speed? What should be the minimum speed? Now, when this speed will be minimum, what should be the condition so that the speed is minimum? Yes? Anybody? Now, what condition shall I put here so that the, okay, sine theta is maximum? Okay, correct. That means theta value must be 90 degree. Okay. So, velocity value becomes mg by a now. So, mg by a. So, option A is wrong. Option B is wrong. I can only have option C and D. I can only have option C and D as correct. Now, if you see here that for constant velocity or zero acceleration, the two forces, okay, this mg force and this force, they must be acting in the same direction or in opposite direction. Yes, they should be acting in the opposite direction. Now, if they are acting in the opposite direction, so if you see here, I'm writing it here, G is towards minus K cap, okay? This gravity force is having minus K cap value. Now, I don't know for velocity, but for A vector, see here, this A vector is positive. This is positive x direction, okay? This is positive. So it is in positive x-axis. So for positive x-axis, it is I cap. Now, what shall I make it here so that the directions are opposite? Okay, so that I get here plus k. What shall I write here? What shall I write here? Yes, in this, what shall I write here? Minus j, correct. I should be writing here minus j cap. Okay, so this velocity vector should be in minus j cap direction. So which is the correct answer here? Option D. So just see this question once again. Okay, just see this question once again, and I'm moving to the next question. Okay, now see this question. See this question. A U-shaped smooth wire has a semicircular bending. Okay, so this bending is actually from A to B. You have a semicircular bending as shown in the figure. A bead of mass m, okay, this is a bead of mass m, moving with uniform speed v through the wire, enters a semicircular bend at A and leaves at B. The average force, okay, so they're asking me average force by the bead on the part AB. Okay, I have to only calculate for this part, on this part AB of the wire is. So start solving this question. Just focus on average force. So how do we give average force? Average force is given as total change in momentum divided by time taken. Average force, okay? But if they are asking me instantaneous force, okay, so what we will do, we will differentiate. We'll write the equation for change in momentum, and then we will differentiate with respect to time. That will give me the instantaneous force. So if instantaneous force is asked to us, so we will have a data like that. But because here we are given, we are asked average force, so try to find out the average force now. Tell me the answer. This is a very simple question. Everyone just write in chat, what will be the change in momentum here? Everyone write what will be the change in momentum from A to B? Change in momentum. I need everybody to write. Okay, I got one answer, 0. Someone has written 2 mv as the change in momentum. Okay, see here. Anybody else? Any other answer? Okay, see here. If this body is moving, if this bead is moving with the v velocity in this direction, so it is having momentum mv. Okay, if it is at b, so it will have a momentum direction in this direction. Okay, now any one direction I'm assuming as positive, so I'm assuming that this direction is positive. Okay, so what you will write? mv minus of minus mv, you will write. So it will be 2 mv. Okay, it is same like if you have a ball here and you throw a ball on it with mv momentum, it comes back to you with mv momentum. Okay, so the total change in momentum is not 0, it is mv only, 2 mv. So the change in momentum here is 2 mv. Okay, so average force will be what? 2 mv divided by time. Okay, now I have this distance. Okay, I have this diameter. This is not, this d is nothing but the diameter of the semicircle. So for time taken, what we have to do? Distance by speed. So what is the distance now? Distance will be pi d by 2, and what is the speed? 2v. So just put it here. So what I am getting? 2 mv divided by pi d by 2v. So it becomes 4 mv square by pi d. Okay, so correct option is B. Okay, anybody is having problem in this question? Anybody is having doubt in this question? Okay, now we'll solve this. Yeah, see this question. Question number, this question, just solve. Yes, solve this question. The velocity, I'm writing it here if it is not visible to you. So the velocity is given as 5t I cap plus 2t j cap. This is the velocity given to me. Will you solve it or shall I start? Yes, we don't have much time. Will you solve it or shall I solve this question? Okay, see here. In this question, it is saying that a solid sphere of 2 kg is resting inside a cube. So we have a cube here, okay, as shown in the figure, and the cube is moving with this velocity. This is the velocity of the cube, 5t I cap plus 2t j cap meter per second. Here t is in seconds. All the surfaces are smooth given to me, and the sphere is at rest with respect to the cube. Okay, that means that if the cube is moving, when this cube is moving, then this sphere is actually at rest at this point. Now, so this is one important point that you have to mark. Okay. Now, what they are asking us is, what is the total force in Newton? Okay, exerted by the sphere. Okay, by the sphere on the cube. By the sphere on the cube. So this question can be done in two ways. One using the pseudo force concept, and one without using that. Okay, so for that, what you have to do, suppose a person is standing outside, so he will see that this cube as well as this sphere both are moving. Okay, this person sees that this cube as well as the sphere is moving. So what he will observe, velocity is this, and what will be the acceleration? The acceleration will be dv by dt, and it will be 5 I cap plus 2 j cap. This will be the acceleration of the body. Now, in this case, the acceleration of the sphere, okay, I got one answer, 2 root 89. It is wrong answer. Okay, see here. Now, in this case, what you have to do is, okay, see it. So what will happen here, that this sphere is having a velocity, it is having a velocity. See here, it's not 29, neither 89, root 89. See here, it is having a velocity in this direction. Okay, acceleration component 5 I in this direction, and vertical acceleration component 2 in this direction. So this 5 and 2 are what? These are the accelerations of the cube actually. Now, if these are the accelerations of the cube with for the cube, okay? Now, what will be the acceleration of sphere with respect to cube, if you say? So can I say it will be in this direction? Yes. Because they're asking me what? A force exerted by the sphere on the cube. So I have to take the Newton's third law here actually. Okay. Actually, this thing, whatever is given to me, this is the acceleration or the force component on a sphere due to cube. Okay. Now, on a cube due to a sphere will have opposite direction. Correct? All those who have written 29, 89. Okay. Do you understand this point now? This acceleration and velocity, if it is having an acceleration, so there has to be a force. So this force is actually exerted by the cube on a sphere. Now, what is the question asked to me? The question is asked, the force exerted by sphere on cube. So for that, I have to go to the third law now. Okay. So the component, the force that sphere exerts on the cube will be in opposite direction. Fine. So I'm having 5 here and 2 here. Okay. Now, if you see this, so there will be one more force, that will be one more acceleration, that is 10 here. Okay. 10 meter per second square. So total force will be what? Due to sphere. Due to sphere, what will be the force now? Will it be 5 square plus 12 square under root? Yes. So what will be the acceleration value now? 25 plus 12 square 144. So it is 169. So this is 13 now. So net acceleration on cube due to sphere is 13 and mass is given to me is 2. So F net will be 26 Newton. Anybody is having doubt in this now? Yes. Anybody is having doubt in this question? Is anyone having doubt in this question? Everybody understood this? Okay. So I'll move on to the next question. Okay, we'll do this as the last question. Or you do one thing, you take this question as an exam homework. Okay. This question you take as an homework. Question number 9 you take as a homework. I'll explain you this question how we have to solve. Okay. But final equations and all you have to frame and do. Now in this question it is saying a person is standing on a weighing machine. A person is standing on a weighing machine. Okay, inside an elevator. So this is the weighing machine and a person is standing on it. The elevator starts going up with some acceleration. Okay, so it goes up with some acceleration A, moves with uniform velocity for a while and finally deaccelerates to stop. Okay, initially it is moving with the uniform velocity and then it deaccelerates and then stops. The maximum and minimum weights recorded are 72 and 60. Okay, assuming that the magnitudes of acceleration and the deaccelerations are the same, find out true weight and magnitude of the acceleration. So in such questions what you have to do is that whenever you move up or when you move down, so you have to understand in which case you will have more weight. So whenever you go up, okay, so you gain weight, and whenever you come down you lose weight. So R, okay, if you draw the FBD, so I'm solving for you for the first case only. R is upward, mg is downward, and since the body is moving up with acceleration A, so for this I'll write R minus mg is equals to ma. Okay, when the body moves up. Fine. Now in this case you substitute R as 72 here. Okay, minus mg is equals to ma. Now for the second case, okay, when it goes down, the equation what you will be writing will be m60 minus mg is equals to ma. Now when you solve these two equations, okay, you will get the value of acceleration also and you will get the value of mg also. Okay, what you have to do, you add these two equations and you will get the value. In this, because acceleration will be downward, so this you have to write down with minus sign, then only it will get cancelled. Okay, so this will get cancelled. Here you will be getting 132 by 2 is equals to mg. So its true weight will be 66, I guess. Okay, 66. Okay, and now acceleration you can determine. Okay, understood this question? Now one question is this, just see this question. Okay, this is the last question. Just check this question. Okay, see here. In this question, what you have to do is you have to find out the tension at point B. You have to find out the tension at point B now. So to calculate the tension in point B, so for such a question, what you can do, you can consider this as a whole body, and F1 minus F2 will be the net force here. Will be the net force here. Okay. So MA will be equal to F1 minus F2. So acceleration here I can write as F1 minus F2 by M. So this is the acceleration of this body. So this complete body is going to move with acceleration A. Now, if you come onto this side, towards the left hand side from F1, okay? If you come from the left hand side towards point B, so in that case, suppose I can redraw that figure as this, okay? I can draw this figure as this. This is F2. These two are T1 and T1 sub T only, okay? And this is F. Like this I can draw. Now, for this T value, what I can write? F1 minus T is equals to M1A. This is M1 you can assume. This you can assume as M2. Where M1 is the weight of this part from A to B. This is M1, okay? This is M1. So you substitute M1 value here, okay? Acceleration already you have found out, and you can solve for T now. So just substitute the values and you will get the answer here. Okay, so with this question we'll end this session.